What's up, everyone? It's Aisha Go the Answer. And if the Ball family is, I have to say, LeVar Ball is extremely smart. I'm not going to throw the genius word around yet because I know sometimes we like to use that word when we see people doing things that seem to be really effective and working. But LeVar Ball is very smart when it comes to his brand, making sure that his sons are okay, building a legacy, and making sure that they're always being talked about, whether it's something good or bad. And I just have to commend him for what he's doing because this is something that other people have been doing for a very long time, even the Kardashians. And it's nice to see somebody else getting in there and a father, too, that's a part of his son's lives, especially for being black African American men. I just commend LeVar Ball so much, and I hope he just continues to do everything that he does because I am here for it and I support it. But again, the Ball family, they are not ones to shy away from being the topic of conversation or, putting something out there into the world that media outlets just gravitate to and becomes clickbait for us to click on and see what they are up to. Now, this time, it actually isn't LeVar Ball, but it's Lonzo Ball, who was just drafted to the Lakers. Congratulations on that. That is huge and major. Lonzo Ball tweeted that 21 Savage debut album, Issa, is better than Jay-Z's 444. Now, while I saw this and was completely outraged because I'm just like, those two albums, those two artists aren't even in the same category. I actually had to take a step back and think about who Lonzo Ball is and some of the other things that he said in the past. Now, last year, he got some flack for tweeting his top 5, which actually resurfaced more recently, especially with his name being very prominent within media and people were able to see it more and comment more. Lonzo Ball tweeted his top 5 all time in order: Wayne, Future, DMX, 50 Cent, Tupac. Now, while I am a very opinionated person and I have to let people share their opinion if I want to give my opinion, right? You have to be able to have dialogue and conversation. But just looking at that list, and then he said that it's in order. So Wayne's 1, Future's 2, DMX 3, 50 Cent 4, and Tupac at number 5. It's very questionable, but if you look at the context, so if you look at this tweet and his top 5, and then you look at what he said about Issa being better than 444, it makes sense for him. I'm not saying it makes sense for anyone who is an avid hip-hop fan, anyone who actually studies hip-hop culture, rap culture, anyone that loves lyricism, storytelling. I'm not saying it makes sense in that regard, but it makes sense for Lonzo Ball to say 21 Savage Issa album is better than Jay-Z's 44 based on what he has given us in the past in regards to who his top 5 is. Now, on the other side, because I do have to play devil's advocate, I have to look at things on both sides, right? As Jesus always says, you got to look at both sides. If you look at Lonzo Ball, he's young, and also to the context that was in Jay-Z's 444 album, it's so deep and it's of so much substance that someone that's not there in their particular life, I can see why they wouldn't enjoy it. Me being someone who isn't in that particular part of my life and never has been, has always appreciated jewels and gems that are being dropped off. I can't relate to that. There is no way in hell that I would ever in my entire life, and with me loving hip-hop, being an avid hip-hop head, would ever say something crazy like that, especially not talking crazy about the GOAT Jay-Z, like never. But again, if Lonzo and anyone else that's just not in that particular space, anyone that's not really in a space to be taught, and someone that's not really ready to learn and be accepting of information and jewels and gems and things that are going to help you build yourself up and create a legacy and sustain a legacy, I can see why they would go for something that is a little more lighthearted and fun, something that's like a little easier to digest. But 444 wasn't even a hard album to digest. It wasn't something that was full of all these complexities and something that you couldn't fully understand and you had to keep listening to it over and over. Jay has a way of simplifying his stuff without it being simple. He has a way of making it easy to digest. He puts it in this packaging that's easy for you to understand, but it's still just full with so much richness and dope stuff in it. So I don't know. I'm trying to play both sides. I really am, and if you, I'm sure you could tell because I am having a hard time putting up an argument for Lonzo Ball. I'm trying to my best again to play both sides, but for Lonzo Ball to say this, I'm not surprised. But it's just interesting too for him to say that about Jay-Z's album when his father is doing the exact same thing that Jay-Z is preaching in his album and telling us about investing in yourselves, investing in your communities, being self-efficient, being your own boss, being your own entrepreneur, like us investing in us ourselves, like within the black culture, within the black community, and us trying to uplift ourselves. So it's like you prefer 21 Savage, but your dad is definitely an example of what Jay-Z is trying to preach to us and tell us. I don't know, maybe in a couple of years, once Lonzo is playing for whatever NBA team, or once he realizes, like, yeah, the checks are coming in, but I need to really find a way to make myself good in case these checks don't come in anymore, maybe he'll feel differently. But until then, I guess he's going to be listening to Issa and stuff about making women eat Plan Bs opposed to investing in himself and having wealth instead of riches, because there's a difference, people. Being wealthy and being rich are two different things, and if you don't know the difference, then I definitely advise you to go look it up. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about Lonzo's bold statement that 21 Savage's Issa is better than Jay-Z's 444. Does this make sense for Lonzo Ball to say this because he's young and he's tweeted out that his top 5 of all time includes greats like DMX, 50 Cent, and Tupac, but then he also includes Future? Or is he just straight up tripping? Is he bugging for even uttering such a thing that 21 Savage is better than Jay-Z? Again, in the comments below, let me know what you think. I am your host, Aisha Go The Answer, and until next time, for all new hip-hop news to talk about, all pop culture news to talk about, whatever, I will see you then. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Aisha Go, and welcome to my hip-hop channel, Hippocalypse, where we're saving hip-hop one bar at a time. And I hope you subscribe because I have lots of fun videos for you to watch and participate in. So whether we're looking at what happened in hip-hop last week, whose hip-hop card is on the line, and us deciding if it gets to be renewed or revoked, or even doing battle bars, looking at songs that are on the top of the charts right now, and me going head to head with my song pick and seeing which one is better. You're gonna love it. You're gonna enjoy it. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride. That sounds weird. Come along for the ride. We want to scratch that. I don't want to say ride because that sounds, just subscribe. That's all you gotta do is just subscribe.